Hey, hello, my friends. It's Simple Samurai, and I'm here to review my Bastion. But before I do that, wow, what what a week! I'd have to say that was probably one of the most draining weeks that I can recall. Uh, I'm working reduced hours at my job. Obviously, I mean, who isn't? But I'm lucky to be working. Although, who knows what next week is going to be like? And oh my gosh, it's just been wow. Well, usually I save this until the end of the video, but I want to wish everyone the best of health, and I hope everyone's doing well, and that everyone's made it to Friday with a modicum of high spirits and the ability to just weather this storm that we're all going through right now. Anyway, so I got about an hour until Darth Blent's live stream where he gives away an Ultra Sabers mystery box. So if anybody hasn't subscribed to his channel, I recommend that you do so because he has some very interesting content and very reflective on the Saber community, and he's become a good friend. Other than that, other news: Rosaria Dawson is going to be playing Ahsoka and Mandalorian season 2, and I'm very positive about that. I really like Rosaria Dawson. I think she's got a lot of good energy, and she'll play an older Ahsoka and do a very good job. And obviously there's a lot of toxicity in the Star Wars community, not in the Saber community, but in the Star Wars community. And some people have not really been too on board with that, but I think it's a good choice, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, Ahsoka will be in more than just one episode or two episodes or something like that, because she's my favorite character, and I really think that I think of this as kind of a jumping off point, blink, 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 to give Ahsoka her own show, because I think that's kind of I think it would be kind of foolish for Disney not to reward Ahsoka for her own show, and I'd like to see Rosaria Dawson, you know, get the rewards of for her years of just you know doing what she does, and I digress. So anyway, let's begin. Why not? Yeah. Okay. So what we have here is a Saberforge Bastion. This is an apprentice saber, and this one's running a veteran soundboard. This is the V1, which means it has the standard finish. This clocks in at 10 and an eighth inches long, and it has an Arctic blue 12-watt LED. And right now I'm rocking the 32-inch Infinity V4 blade. And I've reviewed several Bastions, the Eco, the weathered version that I have an Anabiscotti V3 installed with, and I have a weathered Shoto. So they're all pretty similar. And we'll start with the pommel. And the pommel on the Bastion is very, very loud. It has the little side vents, which I really like, in these scallop thingy doos. And anybody who has any kind of familiarity with Bastion, I'm a little brain dead right now, so please forgive me if I if I trail off and ramble. I have a bit of a head cold. I don't have COVID-19. I'm actually trying to maintain the cold a little bit because I'm a firm believer that it fights off the it fights off the virus, which is complete bullshit, but it's that's what I'm choosing to believe. Anyway, so yes, pommel. Well, why don't we remove the Kilkee? And by the way, for some reason, and I don't know why, this is just dumb, the Kilkee on my Bastion, I really, really like the Kilkee. I don't know why. It seems like it's a little bit more. I don't know. I like it. I don't have to have reasons, do I? All right, so I've got this thing permanently set to crimson, and in my unboxing video, I kind of went through all the fonts and everything. And a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll say I'm not going to do the fonts and all that stuff, and then I'll actually end up doing them because I'm pretty absent-minded when I'm doing these videos. I just kind of wing them. But this time, I'm going to try to remember not to do them. I'm just going to keep it on crimson. But I will do all the features for this one particular font, so you can hear it through the pommel. Here we go. And let's just kind of set the camera up right here. There we go. And you got your blaster block. I really like how on the veteran soundboard, and to a degree on the eco soundboard, you can do the rapid fire. And of course, to do blaster lock up, you just hold it for a couple seconds and release. Alright, let's give you some swings. Get a little bit of that swing. And let's do some clashes. Wow, that hurt. Come on. All right. So, wow, I'm all over the place here. All right. So that's how loud we are. Not too bad. Let's see. So the finishing is rather nice on my Bastion. This is one of my favorite hilt designs. I may seem a little unenthusiastic and a little low energy at the moment, but it is what it is. The cutouts here, they're a little bit sharp. I can't imagine actually injuring myself on that, but just to be aware of it, you might want to wear gloves with this particular hilt. I have the weathered version, but on the weathered version, these are very smooth because they've actually, whoever owned that particular saber, weathered it themselves. I don't know if it was actually the V3 or the black anodized finish version. It was just sort of they weathered it, or if it was pre-weathered, the V2, and they just added more. But it's a lot smoother. But this being a pristine saber, it's definitely something to be aware of. Here's your main choke point. Obviously, this saber functions very well as a single-hand saber. It's almost borderline Shoto. Interestingly, the eco version of this saber is a bit longer. I don't know exactly how long, but it's a little bit heavy for its size, probably because it has the veteran soundboard, and I'm kind of getting accustomed to either sabers that are a lot far heavier than this, or a lot lighter than this. It's a strange thing, but I think mostly it's just because it has the Infinity V4 blade, which they tend to be very heavy because they're heavy dueling blade, thick walled. So it does make for a bit of a heavier experience. And when you have a shorter hilt, it's a little bit more noticeable. But anyway, not that I can show you, but you can obviously grip it a little bit further up, more towards the emitter, which is scallop. So it has these little grip points up here, which is quite comfortable. Or you can focus down here. But then you start mucking about near the switch section, then you have like accidental shutoffs and turn-ons like I just had here. Don't want to turn on my Bastion. But you can obviously use this two-handed with relative ease. Yeah, that being said, I may have glossed over, but you do have a cover tick wheel, so very helpful. So here's the main piece de resistance. Is that the correct term? I don't even know. Um, what really stands out on the Bastion is the scalloped emitter windows here. There's four of them, four banks of them, I guess. There's your LET retention screw, your blade retention screw, and the scallops sort of align a bit with the pommel, which is also scalloped, but the scallops alternate by design. So let's turn this thing back on so you can see how the windows work. The main selling point, I think, of any decent saber is how it looks with windows. And this looks marvelous. And I think I'm going to go through the settings just to maybe turn off the flicker so you can see how the windows look without it flickering all over the place, because that can be a little bit distracting, to say the least. So,
main menu, select optical frequency 1.
So we'll leave it on 1.
Select sound intensity low, high. Select impact sensitivity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select motion sensitivity 1, 2, 3. All settings saved.
There you go. Very lovely, to say the least. And there's your Arctic blue, my favorite color. Not my only color that I use, but it's the one that it's sort of my default for most of my sabers. Just a very simple, very elegant saber. No frills. Clean surface. Easy to handle. And infinitely customizable. If you go onto Facebook, you're probably going to find people that sort of specialize in just customizing this particular hilt. You know, with acid etching and other various and sundry decorative techniques. I'd say that this particular hilt has a bit of a cult following. And I'm quite fond of it. And it is rather loud. I have to admit, I'm sort of getting a little bit bored with the veteran soundboard. It's the Saberforge electronics. It's becoming more obvious to me that I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of any of them, really. Saberforge, their hilt designs are where they shine, and I find that their electronics are sort of rudimentary, whereas like with Ultra Sabers, their electronics are archaic and anachronistic, but for some reason I don't seem to mind how they perform. Generally speaking, they're gratifying. They're nowhere. They're like a million years off from how a CFX or any of the higher end soundboards, the Golden Harvest, even a Spark 3, a Nigon Spark 3 functions. There's just something, I don't know, about Saberforge electronics that I'm starting to get to the point where if I'm ever going to order another hilt, and to be perfectly honest, I've kind of gotten my yayas off with Saberforge as far as there's just really not too much else that I plan on buying at the moment from them. I have everything I kind of wanted, and once I get my Redeemer and my Nova back, and those are champion tier, then yeah, I'm kind of fine. But if I were to get something else, I'd probably just go initiate and just get it empty and then send it to them. I actually have someone that I'm planning on having do most of my work from now on, because I'm not really a DIY guy. I just don't have the time or the energy, for that kind of stuff. Um, and have them installed with just about anything other than what Saberforge provides. But it'll do in a pinch for now. I'm probably just gonna keep this as is, and yeah, it's just a fine saber. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Now I'm going back. This might be something that I send out for some heavy customization someday, or I might keep it pristine. I don't really know right now. I'm very, very confused. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm just going to give you one more little visual tour, but this time I'm going to do it from the other side because, won't that be exciting? And a little bit lower. I keep getting like little bits of schmutz. I don't like schmutz on my sabers. I've said this before. I'm borderline crazy, and don't you know it? Very nice finishing on this saber. It's very shiny. Yeah. Really like the pommel, and I really like the emitter. It's just a all around solid. I would almost say it's a beater saber. Definitely a reliable sidearm. I would say that you can very, 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 very easily duel with the saber. I mean, the blade depth is. I mean, if you look where I don't really like the positioning of the blade retention screw, but the blade depth is. I mean, the LED retention screws here, so it goes all the way down to about there. So you got, a good 2.5 inches of, support for the blade, and it doesn't move around in the holder. It's in there nice and solid. So I would say that this is, if you're looking for a solid quality dueler, other than the fact that the electronics will probably end up dying on you. And for some reason, these soundboards don't give you a mute function, which is kind of remiss. It kind of, I don't know. I believe that most soundboards should have a mute function, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Anyway, so this is the Saberforge Bastion. This will probably be the last Bastion that I purchase, unless I get something heavily customized or get another one too customized. I don't know. I don't have any immediate plans for that. So, yeah. So that pretty much ends the review. And for most of you, I'll probably see you over on Darth Blent's channel in a little while. And something miraculous happened tonight. I hit 500 subscribers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put into works. I'm going to collect all my Ultra Sabers into a nice collection. Figure out how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show off all my Ultra Sabers. But the shtick is I'm just going to show off all of them without really... I'm just going to kind of guess what the names of all of them are. Because, things like Apprentice V3 and Initiate V4 LE, whatever. It's all just kind of arbitrary. So it'll be amusing seeing me trying to remember what the names of all those things are. And, but the thing is, I have to wait until I probably hit like maybe 503, 505. Because I want to maintain that 500, because I don't really want to do a 500 subscriber unboxing soiree video, event, and then have two people unsubscribe, and then people go, but you only have 498. What are you, some kind of weirdo? And I'm like, yes, I am definitely a weirdo. Things just everything went all pear-shaped, and Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. So I'm going to wait until probably next weekend to release that particular video, and it'll be a long one, and we'll have fun. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the night. So again, I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you're all healthy, washing your hands, social distancing, not having any fun, not seeing anyone not seeing any of your friends, just, wallowing in misery with the rest of us. But at least we have each other, right? At least we have each other. We have our sabers, and um, we're all just a happy bunch. Anyway, so my love to you all, and I hope you have a good evening, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.